The Cold War era was a time of secrets, spies, and unconventional thinking. Between the late 1940s and the 1980s, the United States and the Soviet Union were locked in a battle for global dominance. Both sides employed innovative, and sometimes outright bizarre, methods to gather intelligence. Among these was one of the most curious and controversial projects in CIA history, Acoustic Kitty. It all started in the early 1960s, during a period when technological advances were reshaping espionage. Bugs were being planted in embassies, satellites were launched to monitor troop movements, and spy planes flew high above enemy territory. But this new operation wasn't about machines or high-tech gadgets. It was about using a living, breathing animal to infiltrate the enemy. And not just any animal. The CIA chose a cat. To understand why the CIA turned to cats, you have to consider their reasoning. Cats are small, quiet, and can blend seamlessly into most environments. They're a common sight in parks, near restaurants, and around embassies, precisely the kind of places where foreign officials might discuss sensitive matters. To the CIA, the idea seemed brilliant. To the rest of us, it seems downright surreal. The concept of Acoustic Kitty was to transform a cat into a mobile surveillance device. This wasn't as simple as attaching a microphone to a collar. No, the CIA scientists aimed to make the device undetectable. This meant surgically implanting the equipment directly into the cat's body. The microphone was placed in the ear canal to pick up conversations. A small transmitter was implanted at the base of the skull, and a wire antenna was woven into the cat's fur. The entire setup was designed to be discreet and nearly impossible to spot. While the surgery was a remarkable feat of engineering, it raised immediate ethical concerns. Even in an era when animal welfare wasn't as prominent a consideration as it is today, some within the agency questioned the morality of such an experiment. However, the project pressed on, as Cold War tensions often outweighed ethical debates. Once the surgical modifications were complete, the real challenge began: training the cat. This is where the CIA faced a fundamental problem. Cats, as anyone who's ever owned one knows, are notoriously independent creatures. They're not easily trained, unlike dogs, which can follow commands and stay focused on a task. Cats, on the other hand, have a mind of their own. The CIA operatives tried everything. They trained the cat to move toward certain sounds, stay still for extended periods, and even follow a specific path. But the cat's natural instincts often took over. One story claims the cat would get distracted by food, wandering off to chase birds or eat scraps rather than staying on task. After months of training and millions of dollars invested, the CIA decided the cat was ready for its first field test. The mission was simple: release the cat in a park near the Soviet embassy in Washington, D.C., where two suspected Soviet agents were having a conversation. The cat's job was to wander close enough to pick up their discussion using its implanted microphone. What happened next has become the stuff of legend. As the cat was released and began making its way toward the targets, it wandered into the street, right into the path of an oncoming taxi. The cat was killed instantly. The mission was a complete failure, and years of work came to a sudden, tragic end. Or did it? If you like this content and storytelling, please don't forget to like and subscribe for a weekly mysterious story.